Hey there, and welcome. We all run on a kind of personal operating system, a set of hidden assumptions about how life works. But have you ever stopped to ask if your OS is actually helping you, or is it running on some seriously outdated code? Today, we're going to explore how to debug our own minds and install a powerful new system for living well. So, really, take a second and think about this. Do your core beliefs bring you a sense of calm and capability, or do they just create more stress and frustration? The great news is the assumptions we run on, they aren't hardwired. We can absolutely choose to upgrade them. So, where do we even start with an upgrade like this? Well, it begins at the most fundamental layer, shifting to a friendlier worldview. Now, this isn't about some kind of naive optimism. It's a strategic choice to see the world as basically supportive, not hostile. These four beliefs, think of them as the source code for that new worldview. When you start from the idea that the universe is generally on your side, that people are basically good, that you have real value just by being you, and that you belong to something bigger, you're building your whole life on a foundation of trust and patience. And that's the real key here. When your starting point is trust, it just gives you a more stable base to operate from. It doesn't mean bad things won't happen. Of course they will. It just means that when they do, you're way better equipped to handle the uncertainty with resilience and make calmer, steadier choices. All right, so with that worldview as our foundation, we can install the single most powerful app in this entire operating system. It's a tool for sorting everything that comes your way, and it's built on one simple distinction: what you can control and what you absolutely can't. Just let that sink in for a second. We spend so much time and energy wishing things had gone differently, trying to mentally rewrite the past. But this principle brings us back to the truth. Our real power, our agency, is found entirely in how we choose to respond to what's already happened. This is exactly where we need to learn to direct our energy. Instead of wrestling with external events or setbacks that are totally out of our hands, we pour all that focus into what we can control: our response, our mindset, and what we decide to do next. This is all about shaping your character, not trying to rewrite history. So think about it like this: a big project you've been working on suddenly collapses. You can't change that fact. But in that little space between the event and your response, you've got a choice. You can blame everyone and freeze up, or you can take a breath, figure out the next logical step, and move forward. That space, that's where your power is. Okay, so we've got the core mindset down, but a great operating system is pretty useless without some good applications to run on it. This is where we get practical. This is where we turn all this philosophy into real, concrete action. So how do we actually live this way? The most important word on this slide is learnable. A good life isn't about luck, and it's not about some talent you're born with. It's a discipline. It's a whole set of skills in thinking clearly, relating to others, making good choices, and acting on them that anyone, and I really mean anyone, can learn and get better at with practice. So what does that practice actually look like day to day? Well, it's really a three-step process. First, you learn the skills, like how to see a situation for what it is, without all the emotional baggage. Second, you build habits that turn those insights into your automatic daily actions. And third, and this one is the real hinge of all progress, you maintain commitment. That steady effort over time is what separates just wanting to change from actually changing. Which, of course, brings us to the results. What's the payoff for installing and running this new OS? What does the good life that it creates actually feel like? Well, the process isn't just a straight line. It's this incredibly powerful, virtuous cycle. Your clear thinking helps you take a better action. That action, when you repeat it, becomes a good habit. And then, taking time to reflect on how that habit is working for you, that refines your thinking for the next time around. It's a loop of growth that just keeps compounding over time. And here's the beautiful paradox in all of this. This whole system isn't about chasing happiness. You're not trying to hunt down meaning. Instead, that sense of joy, that deep feeling of significance, they're just byproducts. They are the things that naturally show up when your daily thoughts and habits are aligned with what you truly value. So the ultimate promise of this practice, of this new operating system for your life, really comes down to this: a quiet sense of calm, even when things are chaotic. A deep feeling of capability, knowing you can handle whatever comes your way, and a resilient foundation of hope, built on the fact that you can always, always choose your response. In the end, this all comes down to a single choice. It's not about trying to change everything all at once. It's just about starting. So what's the one skill? Maybe it's clearer thinking, or more patient listening, or just a more mindful response. What's the one thing you will choose to practice, starting today? The path is right there.